It's not all me book buying, okay? I didn't do all of it. I can't be to blame for all the books behind me. What is up, awesome nerds? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be going through my physical TBR, which are all the books that I have not read that are on the bookshelves behind me. Within the past 6 to 12 months, I've been accumulating a lot of books. I have a total of 253 and 162 of them I have not read. That's not good. I've been doing a lot more book buying than book reading, apparently. But to me, I think reading books and book shopping are two separate hobbies. I'd say with the past 6 months, I've been doing a lot of ARC reads, so I haven't actually been getting through my physical TBR. But one of my goals this year is to try and get through a lot of my physical TBR, because there are a lot of series on my shelves that I just haven't finished and I kind of just put a pause on and have just been stuck in the middle of the series, and I just really want to get through them. So today we're going to be going through by category all of my books and what they are and when I accumulated them. Before we get started though, I would love for everybody to comment down below how many books are on your physical TBR. Now, I haven't bought all of the books that are on the bookshelves behind me. I know we have 162 books to go through. Some of these books I have bought, and a lot of them have actually been from book besties, which are so sweet of them. Some have been for Christmas gifts and birthday gifts. So it's not all me book buying, okay? I didn't do all of it. I can't be to blame for all the books behind me. I do have quite a bit of different genres here, so we're going to categorize them by fantasy romance, dark romance, and then contemporary, and then I do have a thriller shelf. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Starting off, we are going to talk about the Legacy of God series. I'm actually currently in the middle of God of Wrath right now. I'm listening to the audiobook of it and I'm really enjoying it. Teddy Hamilton is narrating the main male character and I'm liking it so far. And then the next books in these series that I have not read yet are God of Ruin, God of Fury, and God of War. God of Fury, I am really excited for God of Fury because it's an MM romance. So many people love it, so I'm really excited to read it. I am not so excited for God of Ruin though, because Landon is not my favorite. He hasn't been my favorite throughout the entire series so far. He's kind of been very chaotic. We're gonna see if I like his book or not. I haven't heard a lot about it. That's the one probably I've heard least about. Next couple of books that have been on my series for a while are Leather and Lark and Scythe and Sparrow. I read Butcher and Blackbird and I really enjoyed it. I got these because I was heavily influenced by TikTok. I feel like that's where a lot of my book recs come from, is just trying to read books that BookTok read, and sometimes they let me down and sometimes they don't. This is another book that I got from a TikTok influence, The Never List. It's a Why Choose dark romance. I mainly got it because I thought it was gorgeous. It's very, very pretty. The next couple of books is a dark romance called the Prey series. It's actually a dark academia romance. So Forbidden Flesh and Envy are not in this series that I have right now. But this is book 1 through 4. Next we have Greenlight. This is a dark romance as well. And as far as I'm aware, a lot of people say that it's dark. I'm assuming that it's gonna be very similar to Haunting Adeline and the Edge of Darkness series dark. Gothicana. I got this one because I really liked the artwork in it as well. I am heavily influenced by the artwork and sprayed edges, and if the book is pretty, I'm probably gonna buy it. Kiss of a Basilisk and Between Two Kings. I have read neither of these, but I think the sprayed edges are gorgeous. As far as I'm aware, they are just straight smut reads. Then we have a bunch of Sarah Kate books, I think is its own series. And then these three are part of the Salacious Buyers Club. So you've got Praise, Eyes on Me, and Give Me More. And then Keep Me. The only book that I have read from Sarah Kate is The Good Girl Effect, and I really liked that one. There's a third book in this series, and I want to get that one because I want to complete the look of it. But these are military romance books, and and honestly, I can't wait. I hear a lot of good things about them, so I'm really excited to start these. The Hunt is another book that I was easily influenced by TikTok. Like, I saw a video. It's another dark academia romance where like they go into a mansion and the girls like basically get hunted. If I catch you, I kind of, you know, if you know, you know. At their own free will, of course. Losers by Harley LaRoe. I really enjoyed her writing style, and I'm really excited for this one because as far as I'm aware, all of her books are super spicy. The Mindfuck series. Look, okay, so this is book 1 through 5. I read book 1. I did it on audio. I was buddy reading it, and at the time, I don't know. I think I just wasn't in like a good headspace for reading a dark romance at the time. That's what caused me to just not enjoy it as much. And so I decided to like soft DNF it. Do I want to get back to it? Yes. And then we have a book series that has been on my bookshelf for a very long time. The Enforcer series by Maya Banks. It's Master, Dominated, and Kept. This is one of the ones that I first bought when I first started reading. Kings of Tyranny. I hear a lot of good things about this one. It's a like biker romance. We have Toxic by Nicole Blanchard, and then we have Little Stranger by Lee Rivers. Then we have 2 mafia romances. The first mafia romance book that I ever read was Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Geisinger in the Queens and Monsters series. I loved how suspenseful and spicy and like all the action was in Ruthless Creatures, and I devoured the entire Queens and Monsters series. And then I got Book Fairy Nero and Joey, and I'm really excited for both. I hear so many good things about Nero and Joey. Sadie Kincaid, I read her entire Broken Bloodline series and I love her writing style, so I'm really excited to read this one too. Then we have the Kingmaker series. These are sprayed edges. The entire series is actually sprayed edges, which is really cool to me. This is another like dark academia romance. Once You're Mine and Now You're Mine. These are both dark stalker romances. Den of Vipers. I have a book bestie that loves this book and she's been waiting for me to read it. An Education in Malice. I haven't heard a lot about this book, and I was in Half Price Books looking around and I read it and I was like, you know what? I haven't heard a lot about it. I want to read it and give it a try. Then we have the Lord series. I did not like The Ritual. Being that I wasn't a huge fan of The Ritual, I've been pushing these off. I know lots of people love them, but in my opinion, I just don't know when I'm going to get around to them because I didn't like The Ritual, so I don't know if I want to finish the series. Okay, we're kind of getting down to the wire over here, so we are just going to go through this pile real quick. Priest by Nia Simone. Tell Me Stop. I don't know if I'm going to read this book. I read like the dialogue a bit just to like skim through and see what it was like, and it's like every other sentence he's like, tell me stop, and I'm like, do I really want to read this? Why was I influenced? Like Camera Shy, I have a book bestie that loves this series. It has 2 other books in the series. Could I tell you which ones they are? Probably not off the top of my head, but I think they say it in the book. Let's see. It does not. Just kidding. Let's see. Are they in the back? Yes, this is the Lessons in Love series. So Camera Shy is book 1, and then Snapshot, and then Selfie is book 3. Savage Gods. I couldn't tell you why I had this book. I literally couldn't. This is book 2 in whatever series this is. I have no idea why I bought this book. The Monsters and Muses series, this is book 1 and book 2. I don't even know why I have them because I know nothing about them. As far as I know, they are just dark romances, but I have absolutely no idea what they're about. Then we have Truly Madly Deeply. This has actually been on my bookshelf for quite a long time. All right, we might as well just get some H.D. Carlton out of the way. I bought these because I loved Haunting Adeline and Hunting Adeline. I also read Phantom, and when I read all 3 of those, I decided to get these, Beautifully Cruel and Cruel Paradise. I bought these 2 because they are by J.T. Geisinger, and I really love her writing. Since she's one of my auto-buy authors, a goal of mine is to try and read all of her books, which is one of the other reasons I bought these 2. The Redemption Hill series. Give Me a Reason, Never Look Back, and Promise Me Always. We're down to the last 2 dark romance books, and Nocticadia, I just recently bought on a book buying spree that me and my bestie went on, and I bought it because it's so beautiful, but this book is a chunk It is so thick. Under your scars. Look, if I'm going to read this book, it is going to be when I want to cry, okay? This book will make you cry. Anybody that I have talked to that has read this book, they all have cried. And I'm just not ready for that yet. That is all of my dark romance. We are going to start with my contemporary romance. These are all my contemporary romance reads that I have not read yet. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, the Kane Brothers series. I bought this one because Book Besties said that it was super, super good in their opinion, and I wanted to get it. So we have a Not So Meet Cute, So Not Meant to Be, and then we have A Long Time Coming. Deep End. Honestly, I've heard not so good things about this book. Really liked the way that this book looked. I thought it was really pretty with the water and the way that that looked, and then like the character art itself. Enemies to Lovers. I strictly got this because it's a short read. I was looking for books that were a little bit shorter that I could just get through, like maybe at the end of the month or like on short like trips and things like that. And so I bought this one. And Enemies to Lovers is one of my favorite tropes, so I decided to get it. We've got the Dreamland Billionaire series. This was gifted to me last year on my birthday. Book 1 is the fine print, and then we've got Terms and Conditions and The Final Offer. Maggie Moves On. This was actually, oh, that's where that bookmark is. I've been looking for that. This was one of those like TikTok blind date with a book reveals that I got. Next we have The Girl Next Door. It is a sapphic romance. I stumbled across this one on NetGalley actually. I was like looking at books to ARC read and I found this one and I decided if I can't ARC read it, which I applied for the ARC read and then I didn't get it. And so instead of not getting it and being able to read it, I just waited until it came out and put it on my wish list. And my boyfriend got it for me. Just recently acquired a bunch of Abby Jimenez books. So we're gonna go through those real quick because look, I found these at TJ Maxx. I didn't know that TJ Maxx sold books, but they do. And they're really cheap, really, really cheap. So if you're looking for a cheap book, you can find them at TJ Maxx. Friend Zone, I got Yours Truly. I got Part of Your World. I also got Say You'll Remember Me and Just for the Summer. I got them because my book bestie has a thing for Abby Jimenez and I wanted to give her a shot too. A Funny Story by Emily Henry. I think this is actually the only Emily Henry book that I own. The Kings of Sin series by Anna Huang. Look, I've only read King of Wrath. And then you have King of Pride, King of Greed, King of Sloth, and then King of Envy. And then she has King of Gluttony coming out here this year. I am going to try to plow through this series this year. We have 2 books by Max Monroe. We've got Meet Me at Midnight and then What I Should Have Said. These are just cute contemporary reads from what I've heard. And then this one's like almost a Grumpy X Sunshine. And then we have the Jacksonville Ray Hockey series. I have had Pucking Around for a long time. I actually got Pucking Sweet before I got Pucking Wild because I thought Pucking Sweet was book 2, but Pucking Wild is actually book 2 and then Sweet is 3. We've got more books here. This is Shiver for Me. I purchased because the book bestie read it and she absolutely loved it. So I decided I wanted to get it. I just haven't gotten around to reading it yet. And then we have more Anna Huang books. I really want to try and read The Striker this year because it's been on my bookshelf for a very long time as well. I just have been intimidated with how thick this book is. It's a chunk, but I'm actually kind of excited about it because this is Asher Donovan's book. I just recently acquired Anna Huang's If Love series. I think she wrote this series pretty early on, as far as I'm aware. We've got If We Never Meet Again, If the Sun Never Sets, If Love Had a Price, and If We Were Perfect. Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I think I found out about this one the same time I found out about the Love Hypothesis, and I kind of went down a rabbit hole for her books, and I decided I found this one at TJ Maxx the same time I got the Abby Jimenez book, so I just got it. Then we have The 7-Year Slip. Let me just explain that I feel like I'm going to be very confused with this book because it's like different, I think it's like different timelines in what they're living from what I'm understanding, like with reading the back of the book. But I hear a lot of people love this. I don't know, like we'll see how it is. The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. I don't want to cry because this book is apparently a tearjerker, and I just, like, even my boyfriend's coworker talked to me about how him and his wife read this book together and they cried, and I haven't built up the courage to try and read this one quite yet. Okay, we are down to the last little bit of books here. This one was actually gifted to me, and I try to keep like the little gift receipt notes that my book besties leave when they send me books. Pucking Wrong Number by C.R. Kane, the Windy City series. These two right here have been on my bookshelf for a while as well. And let me tell you why. This series has multiple different sports books in the mix of it. This is a hockey romance, and this is a basketball romance. Lots of people have mixed reviews about Mile High, and then lots of people love like Caught Up and Rewind It Back, which I don't have. I just have these two. I think that's another reason why I haven't wanted to start this series yet, because if I really want to get into the series, I am going to want to read the entire thing. The DC Stars series, I have read book 1 and book 2, which is Face Off and Power Play, and I loved both of them. Power Play I loved more than Face Off, just because it's a Grumpy X Sunshine and it's a goalie, and I don't know, it was just so good. This is book 3 and book 4, and lots of people say that they don't like this one as much as they love this one. I think it's just because this one's not as like spicy, but I'm a big hockey romance lover, so I think I'm gonna love them both. Then the last book that we have is Binding 13, The Boys of Tommen. I have heard so many mixed reviews about this. I know lots of people love this series, but then I know a lot of people that this was like an ick series for them. Again, I'm gonna formulate my own opinion. I don't know if and when I will get to this one. That is all my contemporary romance. Now we are gonna move on. We'll go ahead, my thriller section is actually quite short, so we'll go ahead and move on to my thriller books. These are all of my thriller books that I just recently acquired, I would say within the past less than, I would say, like 6 months. So we have Drowning, and I have a book bestie that loved this book, and so she's like a big thriller person, and she has been one of the reasons why I've been influenced by a lot of my thriller picks. She has recommended some other thrillers that I absolutely love, like The Housemaid and The Locked Door, and she loved them, and so did I, and she hasn't stirred me wrong yet. So I'm excited to read Drowning. The Perfect Marriage, I see all over TikTok all the time. I hear that it's an amazing read, and I actually plan on buddy reading this with one of my girlfriends. I kind of read The Guest List by Lucy Foley, and I have not read The Paris Apartment yet, but I kind of started getting into this one. I was like reading it at work, but then I decided to just softy enough it because it was kind of hard to get into it first, because each chapter, the way this one is laid out is like each chapter has a different person's perspective on what's going on in the book, and for me that's a little hard to follow. So being that it was at work, I just had to keep picking it up and putting it down, and I feel like if I'm gonna read that one, I need to be able to sit down and read it. Then we have The Clinic, and I read the blurb on this one, and I love saying that word, blurb. But I read the blurb on this one, and I just thought it was really good, and it gave me Shutter Island vibes. So, and I really love that movie, so I wanted to read this. None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. The book bestie that is recommending all of the thrillers to me. I don't know why I opened that. I thought there was maybe like some other stuff in there, but no, there's not. The book bestie that is recommending all of the thrillers to me absolutely loves this book, and I decided to give it a shot, and so I bought it. Death in the Family gives me like it's on an island, and it's a senior investigator, so like very like similar to Shutter Island. If you have seen the movie, if you know, you know. Worst case scenario is actually book 3. I don't have book 1, which is Falling, and then Drowning is the middle book, so it's book 2. Then we have Dark Matter. I opened this book up at Barnes & Noble one day and started like skimming through it and reading a little bit about it, and it talked about the uncanny valley. And I didn't realize or know what the uncanny valley was about. And then I read like that little bit of the chapter and was like, oh my God. The uncanny valley is about like things that are basically lifelike, that just give you like this unsettling feeling. And I have that. Like, I am insanely afraid of mascots, and mannequins give me like the heebie-jeebies. Like, I just don't like them. Then we've got A Flicker in the Dark. A Flicker in the Dark reminds me a lot of The Locked Door by Frida McFadden. I actually soft DNF'd this book. Now that I'm kind of getting back into thrillers, at the time when I was reading this, I was not in a thriller kick. I did not want to read those. I got it because a girl at work was reading it, and I was like, ooh, I want to read it. It sounds good. Started reading it, and like I said, at the time, it was closer to like the beginning of my book journey, and I wanted to broaden my horizon. So I bought it, and I got into it, and then I soft DNF it. But now that I'm, like I said, trying to get back into like thrillers, I think I'm going to pick it up again. Then we have Never Lie. I am buddy reading this with my best friend, and I love Frida McFadden. I loved The Housemaid. I loved The Locked Door, and I hear so many good things about Never Lie, so I'm really excited about this one. Speaking of Frida McFadden, we have The Housemaid's Secret and The Housemaid is Watching. I feel like I need to finish this series. I feel like book 1 was really good, but nobody really talks about these. So I want to know why nobody really talks about book 2 and book 3. And we've got Pretty Girls. I hear so many people say great things about Pretty Girls, and they were not expecting a lot of the things that were going on in this book. Dark Places. I recently acquired this on my book shopping journey and got it at Barnes & Noble. Lastly, we have 4 books left. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, mainly because I hear that Lisa Jewell's a really good thriller author, so I wanted to get another book from her. And then we've got No One Can Know, and I got this one because I was reading the blurb and it sounded really interesting to me. Like, it literally caught me with 3 sisters, 2 murders, and too many secrets to count. Like, that alone enticed me to want to buy this book. And then we've got A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This book was like a TikTok influence. I hear a lot about it on TikTok and hear really good things. So I went ahead and got that while I got this one. And then The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. Which reminds me, this is another thriller. Ha, ha, ha. I have another one that's just a sprayed edge that I forget what these books are sometimes. But The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, I hear great things. Again, I like Frida McFadden, so I'm going to formulate all of my own opinions when it comes to her books and see if I like them. So I'm excited for The Boyfriend. And then my boyfriend recently got me The Intruder, which is her latest novel, and it's the special edition, which is really cool. And it's really short. It's a lot shorter than all of her other books, so I'm excited for that. But that is all of my thrillers. The last and final category that I have is the fantasy and like sci-fi romantasy series. So let me get all those out, and then we can go through them. And last but certainly not least, we have my romantasy / fantasy / sci-fi books. We'll start with Brimstone by Kelly Hart. This just recently came out last year. Then we have Oath of Embers. At the time, I actually got this from my boyfriend for Christmas, I think, last year. At the time, I just put this on my wish list because I was looking for a book that wasn't really heard of. Like, I haven't heard anyone ever talk about this, and I decided to put it on there because reading the back of it just sounded really good. Put it on my wish list, and he bought it for me. We've got Spark of the Everflame and Glow of the Everflame. As far as I'm aware, there is another book in this series. Then we have Enchantra. I don't like saying that word. I think Enchantra. I want to say Enchantra, but it's Enchantra. And I don't know. I don't like saying the word, but this is book 2, To Phantasma. This is actually Genevieve's book. Book 1 was Ophelia. Dawn of Onyx. This is a fantasy romance, and I got this one at a bookstore downtown, and I don't know. I think I was at that time just trying to broaden my horizon on fantasy. And so I decided to get it. Guild was book fairy mail to me. It is part of the Plated Prisoner series. This is book one, One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. This series has been on my bookshelf for a while. I don't know. I feel like I've been pushing them off for so long that because I just have to be in like the right mood for them. Zodiac Academy, The Awakening, which is book one. I am not going to start this series anytime soon unless you guys want to convince me down in the comments too, but this series is ginormous, and that is insanely intimidating. All of these books are super thick and they just get thicker as you go. Then we have this entire large series right here, which I think is called the Hades Persephone series. It is A Touch of Darkness, A Touch of Ruin, A Touch of Malice, A Game of Fate, A Game of Retribution, A Game of, gosh, I can't even hold these, A Game of the Gods, and then A Touch of Chaos, which A Touch of Chaos isn't even the same size as these books, so it irritates the crap out of me. How does it feel and what did you do? I think these are along the lines of like fairy fantasy romance books. And we've got Heaven Breaker. I bought this mainly because it's pretty. I thought it was gorgeous. Like it's giving like the Road to El Dorado vibes. And I really loved how this looked. And that's honestly why I bought it. The Games Gods Play. I hear lots of great things about this, but because it's more of like a fantasy romance and there's not as much romance in it to fantasy, I don't know. It's gorgeous, but I might end up just letting it sit on my bookshelf and look pretty. And then we have Ice Planet Barbarians, mainly because it's just different. Now, there are a lot of books in them. They don't get thicker as you go. Like, they are this thin. Like, they're really short reads. And I don't know, I feel like I could get through this pretty quick. Throne of Glass. This book is another series that gets really thick as you go, and there are a lot of books in this series. The Book of Azrael. This book is so gorgeous. I just recently got this for Christmas by my best friend, and oh my god, you guys. It is beautiful. Look at the foiling on this. It is so pretty. The character art, it's so gorgeous. I love the Empyrean series, and this one has dragons and things like that as well. So I think, and I'm hoping that I'm gonna love this too. Swordheart. He is an immortal warrior, basically trapped in a prison of enchanted steel. So like trapped in like the sword, the coven, and the cursed. And I bought these, they're like witchy vibes. I bought these mainly because they're pretty. This was the first sprayed edge I had ever bought, and then I had to get this one, and she has a third one that has like plumerias all over it, and I want to get that one just so it matches. I feel like I would need to be in like, it would need to be around October for me to read these. We're really getting down to the last little bits here. Metal Slinger. This is the Fire and Metal series. This is book one. I think book two is Light Wielder. I'm kind of excited for this because I know a lot of my friends love this book, and the font is huge. We love a good book with large font. Then I told you guys before that I was on an Ali Hazelwood kick. So I got Bride at a local bookstore, and then Mate was actually fairy mailed to me. Heartless Hunter, I was book fairied this. I've had it on my bookshelf for a long time now. Bloodguard, I bought this one because it's beautiful. Like, the character art in here is so pretty. I loved it, and I thought, why not get it? Why not add it to my bookshelf? Same thing for the last one. I got this one because I love like the little leaves and the little mushrooms on the ends. I thought it was so pretty, and the inside and the cover, so gorgeous. The Stars Are Dying. I got this one because a book bestie read this series and she loved it. All of the ones that I just showed you are more like fantasy romance and romantasy books. These two are neither of those. These are just straight sci-fi, like fantasy. Red Rising is super popular, and I don't know when I'm gonna get around to it, but I know there's a lot of world building in here, and I typically, when I'm reading, struggle with that a little bit. I might actually end up doing this one on audio to see if that will help me. Legends and Lattes. I have a book bestie that loves this series, and he recommended it. and he said that if I liked The Hobbit, that I would like this, so I decided to go ahead and get it. But that is it, you guys. Those are all of the books on my physical TBR that I need to read, and it is, as you can see, quite a lot of books. If you have made it this far, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. But let me know if you've read any of these books down in the comments and whether or not you would recommend them, and I will see you guys in the next video.